The Perfect Human out of Berlin, a fascinating book with fantastic art. Let's take a look. Hey everybody, it's Tom. It's FANzine Live. We are looking at World Zines today, and we are going back to Berlin to Renate Comics. Their store had on sale The Perfect Human by Marco Klein Niegenhuis, and I have mispronounced that name and I apologize. It's a story about Eduard, an immortal man, and his reflections on the meaning of life. I will pull this open to the back. I will note that the first edition was published in Dutch back in 2017. He then went to press in English in 2022. The website I don't think is live anymore. His Instagram is, and there's an email as well, though I don't know if the email still works because it's attached to that website. This is a small graphic novel. It is done in paperback form. It's really nice and professionally printed. And as he says, it's the story about this immortal man named Eduard. What I'll suggest is Eduard here is a cartoony looking character, very easily distinguished. Even in this establishing shot, he's the one without shading. He's the one just drawn simply like a cartoon character. So you'll always be able to catch him. But anyway, so we've got this story of this man named Eduard. He was born, I want to say, in 1850 something, 1856 maybe. And so you see that he's got a life of experiences having lived. Lord, look at that establishing shot. I mean, this guy's good. His lover is rapidly reaching the end of her life. Eduard is an immortal man. She is not. And so he starts to get introspective because he obviously losing the one you love is no fun. And then there was, at the beginning here, there is a fire. He tries to go in and rescue his lover. He was unable to. He lost consciousness. But after the fire's over, he wakes up in the hospital and then tries to find her. And finally he does, nice to see you one last time. And then she passes. But along the way, he offers a glass of his blood to his lady friend, who refuses it. And I guess the premise here is that his blood clearly is allowing him to remain healthy and live forever. He's trying to give that gift to his lover, and she refuses and instead passes away. Getting to this next part, someone found the cup filled with blood. It's thrown the blood under a microscope and finds out that there is overactive stem cells. Where'd it come from? The man from the burning building. We're discovering that there's a scientific rationale behind Eduard's condition. And as you can see, he can be downright brutal to himself. Grabs a knife. You see all the blood dripping. He stabs himself. There's blood everywhere. And then he just wakes up and he feels better. So he has a healing component as well. Notice, though, that the dog has gone from a well-drawn, shaded character as he licks the blood He gets a little bit smoother, and now he too is a cartoon character. So there's something going on here. Very subtle, very cool. He discovers that lady who was looking under the microscope apparently is his lover's daughter or granddaughter. She has now taken up chasing Eduard because she has a son who is in dire straits. I love this bit here. Why did she go after me? What does she want from me? Do I have to shut her up before everyone knows my secret, before they start seeing me as the savior of humanity, as a scientific experiment, as a new challenge, a new salvation, solution against disease, old age, and time itself? Maybe I should just report myself. Now look at the image here, stretched out on a special gurney, almost a Christ-like image, a crucifix-type image. Flip to the other side, and look at him now. He's in bed, taking the exact same pose. Brilliant. Notice the dog has gone back. Is the power of that blood temporary? I don't know. He now goes to visit, no, I'm sorry, this is the mother. She goes to visit her son, who is just not in good shape at all. They dispense of the old lady's stuff at the reading of the will. And as you can see, he got a box, and the box is filled with a bunch of keepsakes. But as she says, all rubbish. She did have a sense of humor. So it's stuff that probably is only important to him. He talked about how he offered the blood to the old lady when she was sick or healthy as she was getting older, talking about what happened with the war. And the artwork is just sublime. I really love this stuff. You can see over time, as we're at page 57, Eduard goes and visits the boy who's now in a coma. He says that he's going to do a full transfusion. A complete transfusion will be needed, all his blood and strength. And so what's going to happen is Eduard is going to give his blood to the boy. The boy is going to transfuse his blood to Eduard. So basically this is Eduard signing his own death warrant to save this boy. He has a final reflection on life. Goes to an art museum, goes to a bar, goes to looks like a DJ there playing music at a festival. And he's just trying to soak in as much life as he can. Yeah, July 1856 was his date of birth. So he shows up, and he does the transfusion. And he goes through some convulsions, passes out, and lo and behold, the boy, Emil, wakes up from his coma. And the dog recognizes where the blood is and says hello. And Eduard finally is able to pass with just a little smile on his face. And notice that the cartoony look on him is gone. Hasn't yet fully taken over with the boy. But wow, The Perfect Human, heck of a book. I love just looking at stuff like this. Great book. I will do everything I can to try to find out how you can get a copy of this. I'll put it in the show notes if I can. If nothing else, I'll put in Marco's Instagram. You can hopefully contact him and see if you can get yourself a copy. He is apparently Dutch, because of, I'm saying he's Dutch simply by his last name and by the fact that his first edition was in Dutch. He is in Berlin now. I did see that. Hopefully you can get a hold of him. Hopefully you can get a copy of it. Wow, you can just enjoy some truly amazing artwork. Gosh, it's good. All right, so that's it for now. The Perfect Human on FANzine Live World Zines. I thank you so much for watching, everybody. Let me know what you think. Let me share some comments about what you've seen, some thoughts about the ideas that he's got in here, both from a thematic point of view, from an artistic point of view. He takes some interesting risks, but I think it all pays off personally. But I'd love to hear what you think as well. Also, don't forget to like the video and, of course, I'd love it if you would subscribe to FANzine Live. Thanks again, everybody. The Perfect Human, World Zines. I will catch you next time.